Hi, hello, welcome to my General Organic Chemistry lecture number 6 on stereoisomerism. Stereoisomerism. Actually, in this stereoisomerism, these isomers are said to be having same molecular formula, but they differ in the configurations only. That means atoms arranged in space, they are differently arranged around the unsaturation or about the double bond. Okay, so this is quite interesting thing in this stereoisomerism. We have one type of isomerism here is called as geometry isomerism. Another one we will call it as optical isomerism. We will discuss about both the isomerisms. In that, the first category we will discuss in detail, that is geometry isomerism, in this session. Let us move to the session. See, what is stereoisomer? So stereoisomers are nothing but stereoisomers are said to be have the same, having the same molecular formula, and and the same structure, but they differ in the configuration. But they differ in configuration. Actually, what is the meaning of this configuration is in the arrangement of the atoms in space is different. In the arrangement of their atoms in space, they are classified into, so stereoisomers are said to be classified. So they are classified into, the first important one is zoometrical. We can also call this one as cis trans isomerism. The second one is called as optical or DL isomerism. So in this present session, we are going to discuss about this geometrical isomerism. So once again, what is the important isomerism we are going to discuss in this present session is geometrical isomerism. Okay. We will again see what is the definition of stereoisomerism. Stereoisomers are there, they have same molecular formula and same structure, but they differ in configuration, that is in the arrangement of the atoms in space. So they are said to be classified into geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. So we will discuss about the geometrical isomerism in this session. Let us move to this concept of geometrical isomerism. Once we see the concept of geometrical isomerism, here it should be a double bonded carbon-carbon compounds, like alkenes. If you take double bonded compounds, the double bond carbon, if it is attached with symbols like XY, like this is a possibility. Another possibility we have, double bonded carbon is there, if it is attached with AB like this. So I am taking this is A, this is B. Okay. So the alkanes with the formula, in this formula, the A, I am not saying X is Y and A is equals to B. So A not equals to B, X is not equals to Y. In these cases, in our structure A, first structure if you observe, structure A, what you are understanding is there are similar groups on the same side. There are similar groups on the same side of the double bond are present, and that's why we will call that is a cis isomer. That is called as cis isomer. So cis isomer definition we came to know from this example. Let us say the second one, B. In this, similar groups are there. There are A groups, A and B. Similar groups are there, which are on the opposite side. On the opposite side of double bond. Opposite side of double bond are there, and that we were calling as trans isomer. So first one we are calling as cis. Now this one we are calling as trans. Trans. So what is this and what is trans? We understand from this two general examples of alkenes. Okay. Now we will take direct chemical formula examples. Suppose if you take an alkane with the C4H8 formula, that alkane is said to be having a various isomeric alkanes are there. Okay, various isomeric alkanes are there for this one. Suppose you are taking this one, carbon-carbon double bond, and the two methyl groups attached to one double bonded carbon like this. You can call this is an isobutene. It is one form of isomer, but to write the cis form of this one, first we have to write carbon-carbon double bond, and the methyl groups in the same side if you write to the double bonded carbons, the rest of the other two are hydrogens, they will also come on same side. That time you will call this is cis-2-butane. That is called as cis-2-butane. While that of if you write carbon-carbon double bond and the methyl groups you are attaching in the opposite side of the double bonded carbons like this. And this you will call it as trans-2-butane. Trans-2-butane. Understand? In this one, what we have noticed here is, in a case of isobutane, it is not showing geometryl isomerism. It is not showing geometryl isomerism. Why? Because the identical groups, that methyl groups are there, or hydrogen atoms are there, they are identical groups are there on this double bonded carbons. That is why we are not considering this is geometryl isomerism. When it comes to the cis and trans forms exhibited by these other two examples here, we are saying they'll show this type of isomerism, geometryl isomerism of C4H8 discussed here. Okay, let us discuss about some other examples. Not only carbon-carbon double bond. Suppose if you have carbon nitrogen double bond is there. Usually in aldoxymes we can check the type of carbon nitrogen double bonds. Even you can see carbon nitrogen double bonds are there in the compound like nitrogen compound H2, N2O and isonium compounds. Even some of the cyclic organic compounds are there. Cyclic compounds, they are said to exhibit this isomerism. Not only that one, some dienes are there. These dienes are also examples to show this geometrical isomerism. Let us see in detail each and every one. First, we will take an example like this. That is carbon nitrogen double bond I am taking, and one OH I am attaching here, and one CH3, one hydrogen. And another one here, carbon nitrogen double bond I am writing, but the OH attached like this. Then CH3 is present here and hydrogen here. The first one I am taking, this is called as syn. That means this I am calling as syn. And the other one I am calling as anti. So the compound actually belongs to aldoxyme compound. In the aldoxyme, we saw two different things, syn and anti-isomers. Okay. The same thing we'll try for the ketoxymes, how it will be looking. So carbon nitrogen double bond and OH you can write, but here we have a trouble. The trouble is same methyl groups are attached on the same double bonded carbon. That means in this case only one form is possible. Only one form is possible. And this particular compound is called as ketoxyme, we are saying. And since two CH groups are attached at the same carbon, the same carbon. So this is one example. Likewise, we can see another example. The nitrogen double bond, we will see the nitrogen double bond here. So it is definitely a cis form. And when the nitrogen double bond with OH on the little opposite direction are there, means you will call this one is a transform. This is a transform. Okay. Let us see another example. That one is third example. I think this is fourth example. Yeah, this is third example. Now we'll see the fourth example. We have a cyclic ring is there, like cyclohexane ring. To that one, there are two OH groups are attached like this. This I can call it as cis form. And if the OH groups are attached opposite, like I am writing like this, opposite. This I can call it as transform. Okay. Not only that one, when you are trying to do something different, that means if you follow this Fisher projection formula and all these things, you can also show these structures differently like this. So cis form, when you are showing, there will be a OH is present here, the another OH is present here. You can call this is cis form. But sometimes the OH groups are in the opposite direction. Okay. And one will be shown like this, the another one with a dotted shaded part. This you'll call it as transform. The same way, if you are showing both are this shaded parts, here shaded one and here also you are showing shaded one, this you will call it as cis form. So quite different. That means the shaded part is there, that is towards the observer. The whatever the dot lines are there, that lines are there means the lines indicating that is the back side of the plane. In that way, you can understand cis transforms of the cyclic compounds. Another example we will see, that is diene we will take. In diene, I can write a diene like this, and here a double bond, here a double bond I am writing, and I can call this one is cis because this portion is present on same side, so that's why we can call this is cis. Coming to this one, this is also cis here, this double bonded part, here this location, same side are there, so that's why it is cis. Next, another one I'd like to write, that is like this. So here I can call this is cis, and here if I put double bond, it will become trans. Why? Because here and here we have opposite directions are there. That's why this is trans. Next, if you see another example like this, we have a double bond is present here, that is trans, and here also double bond is there, that will also become trans. Another diene you'll see, this is so if you have double bond here and here, the first one you will call it as trans, the second one you will call it as cis. So in that way, different kinds of compounds, dienes also you can write. Now, what we understand from this one is double bonds do not rotate. Actually, carbon-carbon double bonds are there. They do not rotate because the rotation is restricted in double bond cases. Rotation is restricted. So what happens, cis and trans isomers cannot be interconverted. So suppose you have A, here B, here B, here A, and you want to convert that one into A, B, like this. It is not possible under normal conditions. That means this interconversion is not possible in normal conditions. But it is possible in what conditions? It is possible only in extreme conditions, means high temperatures and all. Extreme conditions only it is possible, extreme conditions. So we will go with that an example to understand why, because they cannot be separated from each other also. The reason is nothing but they are different compounds. Now, before going to that one, we have two isomers are there. One is called as cis, another one is called as trans. So cis isomer, the another isomer is called as trans isomer. And these are said to be having a different physical properties because the compounds are different, and that is we have boiling points are different, and their dipole moment values mu values are different. Okay, that's why you are calling they are different. Suppose if you take a double bonded compound like this cis compound, if you take 2-butene, and one is cis, another one is a trans, if you take like this, it is their trans. If you take, when you study about their boiling points, they have told the boiling point of cis1 is given as 276.7 Kelvin, and while that of a trans boiling point given as 273.9 Kelvins. And cis form mu value a bit is there, that is 0.33 device is there. Transform mu value and dipole moment value noticed as 0.00 dipole moment noticed. The reason is nothing but here bond moments are there, that bond moments will get cancelled in the case of trans, while that of the bond moments are not getting cancelled in the cis form. So here this is cis form. In the trans form, what will happen? The bond moments will get cancelled. That's why it is happened. So this is possible in the case of different examples. Bond moments are different, boiling points are also different. So that too, if you take 1,2 dichloroethene, ethene. If you take, that was also noticed that the cis form, if you write like this, chlorine, chlorine, hydrogen, hydrogen, and in the cis form, what happened? The bond moments are not got cancelled, and notice that the boiling point is 333.3 Kelvin, and they have given the mu value as 2.95 device for cis form. That if you write the transform, for the transform, they have noticed that the boiling point is not same, because here in the transform bond moments are got cancelled, and boiling point is given as 320.5 Kelvin, and a mu value exactly 0.00 device given. What the meaning of this one is? This meaning is nothing but 1,2 cis-1,2 dichloroethane is exhibiting a significant value of this dipole moment, while that of dipole moment value of this 1,2 trans 1,2 dichloroethane is 0, because the bond moments are getting cancelled. So this is one of the important point to be noticed. Not on this one, we have the point discussed is cis form cannot be easily converted into transform, but some extreme conditions like a double bonded compound is there, cis2 pentene I am taking here, CH2 CH3, here also I am taking a compound, a group, that is methyl group I am taking here, cis form I am taking. So the compound I am taking is cis2 pentene, cis2 pentene, and this cis2 pentane is converted into trans about 450 Kelvin. It is converted into transform, means it is little extreme condition, I can say, that methyl groups are present, methyl and ethyl groups are present in the opposite direction, hydrogens are present in the opposite directions. That time I got a trans to pentane in this interconversion. So interconversion is highly impossible, but interconversion is possible with extreme conditions of temperature and the other conditions, pressure and all. So it is possible in these particular extremely conditions. Let us move to the next one. We have a discussion about stereo specific reaction. Stereo specific specificity, I can say, stereo specificity of the cis and transforms. Suppose you have taken a compound cis form, you have taken that is cis butane. If you take a double bond, you want to convert that one into an oxidized compound. That means you are doing oxidation in the presence of this per acid in methylene chloride medium, and reflexing that one, you got cis epoxide. That means a bridged oxygen will come here between the carbons, and the product formed is cis form, as you have taken cis compound as the reactant. So the product obtained, you will call it as cis epoxide, and the compound you have taken is cis compound, cis 2 butane. While if you take trans, let us observe, if you take trans compound, okay, so like this trans 2 butane, if you take, then in the this is treated with paracid C6H5 COOH, and in the presence of methylene chloride medium, and reflexing this one at high temperatures, and finally you will get a compound. That compound is also called as epoxide. That epoxide is also behaving like a transform only, as you have taken the trans reactant substrate. So the compound obtained here is trans epoxide. Okay. So what we understand is, this is the reaction. The formation of this epoxide is said to be stereospecific. That meaning is nothing but a reaction in which a reactant can exist as stereoisomer, and each stereoisomeric reactant leads to different stereomeric product also. So suppose if you take cis, you'll get cis epoxide. If you take trans, you will get trans epoxide. So taking cis butane, do the reaction, you can't get the trans epoxide. You will get the cis epoxide. That is the meaning of this stereospecific reaction in this discussion. Let us move on to the another important example, that is optical isomerism relations. Also you can come in the discussion that, but I'll give you the basic of this malic acid and fumaric acid behavior. Malic acid and fumaric acid behavior. Both are dicarboxylic acids. They are cis and trans isomers. And this malic acid is actually cis form, and fumaric acid is a trans form. And here, if you take the malic acid, to take the malic acid, that is a cis form, it's a dicarboxylic acid. The carboxylic group is present on the carbons, double bonded carbons. So I'll write double bond here. Yeah, these are double bond carbons. And I'll write the hydrogens also attached to this one. And this is said to be converted into a mesoform in the presence of alkaline KMnO4. Alkaline KMnO4. So what happened? The meso compound is nothing but 50% of its image, mirror image is there in the middle of the, inside the molecule. That is a meso compound obtained like this. So this one you'll call it as a meso compound. While that of, if you try it with bromine water. That means behavior of this malic acid will see in bromine water. The addition you can call it as anti-addition. But in the first case, what happened? The addition we are calling as syn addition. The above addition is called as syn addition. What is anti-addition now? That is carbon-carbon double bond will be separated, broken, and the carboxylic acids remains the same. And where the availability of the site is there for the electrophile to attack, based on that, this bromine atoms electrophiles, first electrophile, next nucleophile will be attached, and that we'll call it as DL racemic mixture, D form, L form, racemic mixture. So what is the meaning of this one is nothing but malic acid is behaving differently compared to fumaric acid. You can understand from this picture. Now we will see about fumaric acid. How fumaric acid behaves in the presence of KMnO4, alkaline KMnO4 and bromine. So fumaric acid is a trans form, is a trans fumaric acid, while the carboxylic acid groups attached to that one on the double bonded carbons like this, and we have hydrogen atoms are present in opposite direction. So when you do this alkaline KMnO4 reaction, alkaline KMnO4 reaction, that addition is said to be syn addition. The syn addition is said to be where the availability is there only this KMnO4 will make a change in the reaction. That means we will observe the carbon-carbon bonds and OH groups attached. This is the carboxylic acid functional group. There is another carboxylic acid functional group. OH group attached like this. Here. This is called as syn addition. While that of the bromine water reaction. So if you see this one in bromine, Br2, bromine water reaction, the anti-addition takes place. Anti-addition takes place. So here and here. Anti-addition in the opposite site of the molecule. Anti-addition in the opposite side of the molecule, once you observe, the carboxylic acid functional group is there. You will get a product which is different from the malic acid product. So here you will get bromine atoms like this. Side by side you will get. That means one in the availability side, another one in the opposite side. That means this hydrogen will be rotated in the case of anti-addition. Okay. So what we understand from these things, malic acid and fumaric acid is nothing but the syn addition. We understand the importance of syn addition. That is nothing but the addition of electrophile, and then nucleophile, and then the nucleophile on the available sites, on the available sites. That what is the meaning of that one is the same side of the molecule. That is called syn addition. Same side of the molecule. What about anti-addition? Now we'll see what about the meaning of anti-addition. The anti-addition is nothing but the addition of reagents, that means electrophiles and nucleophiles, trans to the available sites, trans to the available sites. That means the meaning is nothing but in anti-addition, opposite side of the molecule, opposite side of the molecules or molecules. Okay, understand syn addition and trans addition, and we'll check with an example. In further sessions also we'll be having complete details about syn and anti additions with examples in alcohol chapter also. We'll see. Now I am going to take an example again to illustrate the syn and trans like this. This is 2-butane I am taking like this. Hydrogens are there. These are the sites, that means available sites are there. Here I am going to do syn addition, that means halogen. Available sites I am showing here. Available sites I am showing here and here. That means with a different color if you want. I will show this is the available sites here. Okay. So available sites. Now what we will get, I will show you. What we will get is nothing but we will get a compound. X will come in place of this double bonds. So double bond will be separated out and you will get X here, X here. Assume this is the first compound. And coming to the anti-addition case of the same thing, that is anti-addition you are doing of this one, that is in the trans side, opposite side of that this one. So how we will get the product, I will show you. This is CH3, this is CH3. Here we have you take one empty side here, one side is X, opposite that one here is coming X here. This is anti-addition. Okay, assuming this is second one. What we understand from this one is nothing but when we have this syn addition, available site, if you do syn addition, when you have done the syn addition of X2 on available site of a compound, you are getting the product 1. But if you take a compound like this, that means a double bonded one, the hydrogens I am showing in the opposite side now, this one. If you do syn addition for this one, you are going to get a product, second product, that means like this one. But if you are doing anti-addition for this one, anti-addition for this one, that is nothing but addition on trans side. Addition on trans side if you do, then what will you get? You will get the first one. You will get the first one. So this is the meaning of syn and trans additions in the discussion we made. So today in our session, what we have discussed is stereoisomerism definition and stereoisomerism types, geometrical and optical. In that, we have discussed about the geometrical isomerism, carbon-carbon double bond compounds and double bond carbons must attach with the different groups of atoms. That's what we have shown. Even carbon, nitrogen double bond we have shown. And there also we observe different groups attached. And nitrogen double bonds we have shown. By that of a ring structure is there. In the ring structure also we have shown the different groups attached. Cis and trans also we have shown in the ring structure. While that of the dienes cases, that means diene is there, this is we called as cis, this we called as cis. Suppose if it is went like this, this we called as trans, this is cis, this we learned. Not only that one, not only this learning concept of these things, we understand about the physical properties of cis and trans, like that of boiling point and the dipole moment values of cis and trans. Trans, most of the trans cases are observed, dipole moment value is becoming 0 because the bond moments will get cancelled in the opposite sides, the attachment is there. So that we learned. And one more thing we learned, that is cis cannot be easily converted into trans in normal conditions. But in the extreme conditions, the cis isomer can be converted into trans isomer. And we saw that is the cis 2 pentane we have taken, the cis 2 pentane we have converted into trans 2 pentane at extremely high condition of extreme condition of 450 Kelvin we observed. After that, we took that some of the chemical reactions of this 2-butane taking cis form and trans form in the presence of the para-acids, means para-acids means that is oxidizing agents, and they are also giving the same type of products. That means depending on the isomer we are taking, the stereo isomers, geometrical isomers, this reaction is also said to be stereogenic reactions. Means if you take cis isomer as a reactant, you will be getting a cis epoxides, and but cis epoxide cannot be obtained from the trans 2-butane, and trans epoxide cannot be obtained from the cis butane in the presence of the reaction of these alkanes with para-acids in the presence of methylene chloride and all we observed. Then after we understood what is the main concept of syn addition and trans addition also, in briefly only we have discussed in this session. So these are the main points we have covered in the geometrical isomerism in our present session. In the coming session, we will come with the optical isomerism with different examples which are required for the examinations. Okay, until have a nice day. Bye bye.